In today's college basketball pick video play for March 17, 2019, talking about this A10 conference tournament title game between the St. Louis Billikens and the St. Bonaventure Bonnies, and give our lean on where we see the better value against the spread. The Bonnies coming in as very slight 1-point favorites. If you're interested in getting all of our college basketball plays for today, including our daily free play, you can check those out over at stumpthespread.com, which is linked down in the video description. So in this title game here in the A10, not necessarily the two teams that many were expecting. Of course, VCU, Davidson, as well as Dayton, really the top teams in the A10 throughout the course of the regular season. But St. Bonaventure and St. Louis just one step behind those upper tier teams. So not a complete shocker here. St. Bonaventure going 12-6 through league play, and St. Louis at 10-8. And it's actually kind of surprising that the Billikens were only 2 games above 500 within league play, because this is a team that actually showed pretty well at times back during the non-conference, beating teams like Seton Hall on the road. They beat Butler by double digits. They took down Oregon State. So building themselves up a little bit of a decent non-conference resume, but the Billikens very inconsistent throughout A10 action. They weren't able to carry over a lot of that positive momentum that they picked up at times during the non-conference, but also just the fact that St. Louis tends to grind things out in the half court and play in a lot of very low-scoring games. That means that a ton of contests that this team is in goes right down to the wire, a possession-by-possession situation where they need to really come through in crunch time. So that means the Billikens, they can stay close and compete with solid opponents, but also come up short in games where you'd expect them to perform a little bit better. But actually, St. Louis, they've been stepping up big time within the A10 tournament. First, they took down Richmond in a competitive matchup, but since then, very impressive, a 64-55 win over Dayton. And then yesterday, even more impressive, a 67-44 win over Davidson. So some really good stuff there from the Billikens. In this one, they're taking on St. Bonaventure. And the Bonnies, not quite the same level, certainly, as the Billikens' overall non-conference resume. The Bonnies coming into A10 play at a much lower position. That's why their overall record is just 18-15 overall at this point in comparison to St. Louis, who's a little bit better at 22-12. But the Bonnies were slightly more consistent throughout A10 play, specifically taking care of business at home, which elevated them to that 12-6 league record. And in this tournament, taking down George Mason in their first matchup by a final of 68-57, and then in their last outing, very impressive, taking down Rhode Island by a final of 68-51. Now, Rhode Island wasn't an upper tier team within the A10, more of a right in that middle tier, so maybe not quite as impressive as some of those recent wins that we've seen from the Billikens with their victories over Dayton as well as Davidson. We'll see what the Billikens have left in the tank, but we really like what St. Louis has been showing on the defensive end, and we think that can be a big difference maker for them in this one. So we're going to go ahead, side with St. Louis, getting that 1 point as the better value bet. If you agree, give the video a thumbs up. Disagree, give it a thumbs down. As always, you can check out all of our college basketball picks for today at stumpthespread.com, linked down in the video description. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, and we hope to see you guys back here for our next video.